Hello and welcome to the Of Myths and Men podcast. I am your host, Adam Holcomb, and today I am joined by co-host Dylan Blumenberg.
You won't believe where I came from.
And we are happy to have special guest, Valia, with us today.
I also came from the same place.
Wait, you were just where I was?
I was there at the thing.
I don't want to say it, just in case.
Our
Cold
podcast.
Stone Creamery.
Oh, I was not there. All right, go ahead.
Our podcast brings together three unknowledgeable individuals who spend a day pretending to be experts on mythology. Each week we will discuss a different god or creature, rotating out the lead mythologist. We will discuss its habits, and attitudes, we will tell a tale, and we will end on a debate on who would win in a mythological fight club. And today's lead mythologist will be Dylan.
Hello.
Can you tell us a little bit about the god or creature that you chose?
So today we're talking about sirens. You guys are all familiar with sirens, I'm sure.
Yes.
Top of a police car?
What?
Yeah, they're on a police car.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I thought that was a metal band. All right, never mind. So I guess when I started looking into this, or when I went to school for this subject, I should say, I was under the assumption that these were water-dwelling creatures, but apparently that's a common misconception. At some point,
Yeah, that's mermaids.
Yeah, well, all right, let's get into this a little bit.
Do they generally just dwell, not just in the water? They just dwell all around?
Well, they're actually flying creatures. I wasn't
They
aware of
dwell
this,
while
but
flying?
I was playing The Witcher recently, and I guess it makes sense. They're part woman and part bird.
I was going to ask if you've ever fought one in Witcher, because...
Oh yeah, they're super annoying. But, well, that's the thing, too, because I think they're just, like, loud in The Witcher. But, of course, they sing and lure their prey, specifically soldiers generally, to, like, crash their boats onto the shore of the island, which is evidently a real place. They were said to live on a group of islands, actually, called Sirenum Scapulae. In real life, these are the Gallos, I guess, off, what is it, Italy? Which in English translates to the cocks.
Italy translates to the cocks in English?
The Gallos. So there's that.
Is that an archipelago?
Yeah, actually, I think it is.
Ooh.
Have you ever been there?
I was raised there as an adult.
Is it raising if you were an adult?
It was.
I grazed there as an adult.
So the word siren, it's a combination of two Greek words, Syria and Eroa. Totally butchering both of those. But
one of those is a planet, isn't it?
Syria?
Or no, a moon. Europa?
Oh,
isn't that one of Jupiter's moons?
Yeah.
But
Europa?
it's EIRO. Not even close.
Same thing.
Europa.
Same thing.
But that means binder or entangler, like to bind someone with a song. So
that is usually what they do.
Yeah, I guess a lot of times they were portrayed as like bird women with all bird characteristics in a woman's head.
Like D?
That's just how I like them.
Exactly. What'd you say, Adam?
That's just how I like them.
all bird all the time?
Just the head, woman, and bird everything else.
Then as people portrayed them, they're portrayed by a lot of people actually, but as different people portrayed them, kind of dropped the bird part and it just went more towards like naked women as the time went on. But most famously, Homer wrote about them in the Odyssey. Have you guys heard of that? It's a little known book.
Is it like Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I read it once or twice.
So he said that one of the first representations of them, I suppose, was when Odysseus and his crew were sailing home to Ithaca following the Trojan War, and Sirens attempted to lure them to Siren Island, also known as the Cocks. Odysseus had himself tied to the mast of the ship so he could hear the siren song, but he wouldn't be tempted to land, or crash, I guess would be more appropriate.
Have you ever been so thirsty? Have you ever been so thirsty that you had to tie yourself to the deck to not want to have sex?
To the whole deck? Like all the way around the ship?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I missed what you said about where he was tied to. Just
tied to
made
the
something
mast,
up.
you know, where the sail is?
Yeah, how does he steer the ship if he's not
Well,
by the steering wheel?
I mean,
the
how
wind
much...
steers it.
Let's get into this. How much do you actually have to steer a ship?
A lot.
Are you sure, though? Like, say you're going 100 feet. How much are you actually turning that wheel if you want to go straight?
I doubt he's going 100 feet.
Well, who knows?
I think he's sailing the entire Adriatic Sea, most likely.
He's only sailing past these islands.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
It's
The
like
Cocks.
a very
All right.
specific area. I'd show you. It's top right corner of, I don't know, Italy or something? I don't know.
Okay.
Italy's the boot-shaped country.
Yeah, I looked at a close-up on a map. It didn't really help. So this is what the rest of the crew did to avoid these sirens. They just blocked their ears with wax. Like, isn't that too easy? If that's going to do the trick. Like,
But they're bird women, right? So they
Yeah.
can just fly out to you and then
Well-
pull the wax out
I don't know about that.
and then sing sweet, soft whispers into your ear.
I thought they were like loud as shit.
Sirens?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
thinking of
typically,
police
right?
cars.
But in all these accounts of them, they were typically like, they sung very well and played instruments very well. Like, there's nothing about them just being flat out annoying. Like,
Yeah,
piercing.
I heard they were very seductive, not necessarily just loud.
So if
Pretty
they
much.
went on The Voice, they'd probably make it to
Dude.
like round of 16.
They would win The Voice. They would replace
win it?
Steven Tyler on The Voice.
Wow.
Yeah, they're that good.
All of them would just be one of the judges. After winning so good at it.
So, needless to say, Odysseus and his crew escaped unharmed. And that was like the big first time that had happened, apparently. But apparently that's how you kill sirens, according to Homer, is if they sing to you but you get away, they just dive into the ocean and kill themselves. Like drown themselves. Which, I mean...
That seems
Standard
like an
fare.
overreaction.
Yeah, it's a little much.
I
Go
tried
ahead.
singing to get women to love me, as you know, all the time, and I never killed myself. I feel like I am better than sirens.
I mean, I've heard you sing. Wouldn't be the worst option.
Hey. That was rude.
That was a little rough. If you guys had to guess, how many sirens would you say there were? This is not something I had ever considered
12.
before reading. 12? Volya?
0, because to defend against them is the easiest thing in the world.
That's
Yeah, right?
true. They probably all
Like,
killed
just
themselves.
put wax in your ears. Just ignore them, basically.
Yes.
There's between 2 and 5 of them. Homer says 2. Other people say more.
Wow.
Yeah, so you'd think this would be a problem for a very short period of time.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
not.
wouldn't Odysseus, killed them all?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Well, you'd have to like seek him out. He doesn't want to risk maybe falling to the trap of one.
That's true.
But not
I
just
suppose maybe
congregate.
not all of them were singing to his crew.
Yeah. Which brings me to my next point. Some people portrayed them as cannibals and said that the island that they lived on, the Cocks, was just like a place where they stored all the corpses. Just let them rot.
It was just a big sausage fest. The Cocks.
Well,
So I have a question.
go ahead.
Last week we talked about leprechauns. and they were all
Good callback.
guys. It's starting to really sound like that sirens are all females. So how do they mate?
Good question. There are uncommonly male sirens. Like, they're not portrayed as males very often. But, yeah.
Are they
Apparently
like
there's male ones.
Are they like peacocks where they're really dull and boring and they just stay home and sit on the babies?
I can't answer that. But, if I had to go back to my schooling, I'd say I think they shared their responsibilities as parents. You know,
Very modern.
Orangutans.
Fair enough.
Leonardo da Vinci wrote about them, sirens.
What do you write?
He wrote that they lured sailors to sleep and then they came aboard and killed them. Which is kind of more interesting if you think about it. But, I mean, how does wax in the ears still prevent that? Go ahead.
Hold on. So they lure sailors to sleep,
Mhm.
which if the sailor is sleeping, he or she would be ignoring it, and then they kill them.
Yeah, like they come aboard.
But isn't the defense to ignore them? So like, they fall asleep, and then they would be ignored at that point. Wouldn't they be like, "Oh fuck, what do I do now?"
This really sounds like a catch-22.
Yeah.
But they can just like come up and be like, "Yo,
But they're
what
already
up?"
going to kill themselves because they're asleep and ignoring them.
Well, I mean, it's written by two different people, so
So if they put that person to
Point
sleep
invalidated.
themselves, then they can do it. But if the person is already asleep, then they'll kill themselves.
then they're screwed. The person's taking a siesta.
It's a
No
very
go.
specific tack.
I don't think you can combine these two myths, these two accounts.
I think you can.
All
I'm
right.
100% positive that they're from the same person. This is just a fake news situation where, different sources are conflating the information.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valia went to University of Phoenix, so I would trust him.
Oh, didn't
It's the bird one.
Oh wow, it is.
So he knows a lot
What do you know?
about birds.
Ask me a bird fact.
How long do phoenixes live?
That's right. You got it right. They live how long they please, and then just like sirens, they have stupid attacks.
Alright, well, we're going to talk about phoenixes in episode 100.
Yeah.
We'll save the extra information on those.
Well, there we go.
Can't wait.
Are you guys familiar with the myth that sirens were typically promiscuous?
I thought that was a fact.
Well, depends who you ask.
I mean, it sounds like they are if they're trying to seduce people.
I mean,
Sound pretty slutty. I'll tell you what.
I'll ask you this. Can you guess what religion came up with them being promiscuous?
Judaism.
No.
It's the only religion I know.
The one
And-
with the flying spaghetti monster.
No. Christianity, believe it or not,
Oh,
came up
shit.
with the
What is that?
sexual themes. It's this little one out of Italy. It's called Christianity.
Oh, is that like Catholicism?
I mean, kinda. It's close. Wait, do you actually not know what Christianity is?
I have not. I know what sirens are, but I don't know what Christianity is.
I can't. You're not serious, right?
Oh, I'm dead serious.
All right. Let's continue. So Christians.
We'll touch on Christianity in episode 100.
We'll
with
keep making this
phoenixes.
reference.
So Christians portrayed them as prostitutes, and
Love
the
prostitutes.
idea of like drowning sailors or killing them was more of a metaphor, saying that they were drowned in unlawful
Pussy?
pursuits.
Oh, they
What were you
didn't
gonna say?
drown in pussy?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's the way Wikipedia didn't put it.
Alright. I think we can move on to the tale now, unless you have any extra information to throw on.
Well, I mean, I kind of already... That tale about Odysseus was all I had.
Oh.
Unless you had something. You had a tale about that, right?
Yeah, sure. I come prepared all the time to this where I knew we were going to totally talk about sirens. So each time we'll take some time to tell a tale. Mythology was created through an early form of storytelling, so we like to spend a bit of time delving into a tale that involves our subject. We will be a little more in-depth with an analyzation to better understand the story each week, and you'll be able to bring a tale home to tell your friends or your significant others or your pets
strangers
if you're really lonely. So this week we're talking about the Siren, and Dylan already blew his wad on the story, so we'll have to talk about another one. And
I have a story.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Can I tell them? It's about the siren. This is for my scholarly pursuits. So, you know how like birds will flock into like in formations, and you'll see thousands of them, like seagulls or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sirens don't do that.
So birds typically make a V. Do you know why one side is longer than the other?
Why?
Because there's more birds on that side.
Jeez.
That's God, you're the worst.
How many kids do you have? That was the worst dad joke I've ever heard. No, I thought sirens flew in an S. Don't they? It's more efficient for the coastal winds.
Is it a Superman S or just like is it one of those cool S's that you draw in middle school where you do the 3 lines above each other?
Do you
remember Trogdor the Burninator?
I don't.
It's like him.
Okay.
So look up a reference picture of Trogdor and that's your S.
Anyway, I'm sorry. So was there more to your tale besides them flying in a V?
Yeah, so like they not a V, like how birds go into formation. So sirens specifically, they don't do that just because there's only 2 of them, so they really can't afford to do that.
There is between 2 and 5.
Let's just call it 2 for record keeping's sake. It's too risky, so that just you never see that. That's the tale.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I'm glad we brought you on here.
Is it one? If it's only 2, though, is it one male and one female?
No.
They're just both barren.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have a male partner doesn't mean you're barren.
They're asexual, though. I'm pretty sure. So, like they can birth without any of that nonsense.
Do they create
it's all good.
babies through mitosis?
They
do. Is that what it is? Osmosis?
And they can just kind of say like,
definitely
baby.
not osmosis.
It's definitely not. No, that's how they drink water. All right. I did also want to bring up that I have a little bit of a tale. There was once an episode of Samurai Jack that featured sirens in it. I think he killed them.
All of them?
Yeah, there was like 2.
The only one
Actually, there might have been 3.
Is that like Samurai Joe?
It was a good episode because he got like super seduced and had like crazy like love eyes, and then he broke out of it and killed them.
They can be murdered physically though, right? Like you can't actually stab a hoe, right? It's not just ignore and then they die.
Yeah, you can fight them, but I mean, you probably wouldn't want to go up against them with their sharp talons and stuff.
Samurai Jack had a sharp sword, all right? I think he can handle himself.
He's no Odysseus.
That is true.
That's
They're
true.
Different people.
He didn't have wax in his ear or tie himself to a mast, which is the entire ship of a ship.
There was that one episode where he has wax in his ear and ties himself to a mast.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of sirens.
Yeah, it was just because he wanted to.
Yeah.
He ate some bad curry. And
yep.
He didn't want to sleepwalk.
Yeah. Couldn't curry his favor there.
Jesus.
The dad jokes are real this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So moving on from the tale, our final section we like to kind of introduce a mythological fight club. Who would win in a fight? So one of the things people love to debate about is who would win. My dad will kick your dad's ass.
Fact.
Yeah, Goku would beat up Superman.
100%.
All that shit. So, in our Fight Club section, we indulge ourselves and talk a little bit about who would win in a mythological fight to the death. And we will usually pit this week's subject, so the Sirens, against one we discussed in an earlier podcast. So, Dylan was our lead mythologist, so he will be the moderator, and he will decide which of our whole one previous subjects we've talked about it will be fighting.
I mean, there's a lot of good options, but before we get into that, this brings up a question of how are we going to do this in the future? Can we go back if someone loses a fight or wins a fight? Can we go back and pit a new future myth against a previous myth that has already fought someone? Do we have a reigning champion?
I was thinking more we can just choose whoever and try to make them a little more equal, so you wouldn't pit Zeus against a Siren, because Zeus would probably win. We might have to at some point in the early episodes, but I think anyone we've talked about is open game as the opponent.
There's context to a fight, too.
That's true. Well, of course, we got Sirens versus what was it? Leprechauns?
Leprechauns.
Lepers, I think it was.
Oh, well,
Leprechauns.
Siren's probably going to lose that one. It's a pretty dangerous disease.
Okay, so
what do lepers have?
Leprechauns, for real. So that they know what we're talking about.
Just cut that whole part.
Alright.
Nonsense.
So the moderator will decide one person gets to choose who they want to defend, and then the other person gets the other creature. So Dylan, who would you like to have first choice?
I'll go with volume.
I'll defend the Sirens.
Alright, I'll take Leprechauns.
Fight.
So I want to ask a few things though. Context, right? Is this a regulated fight? Is there a commissioner, judges ruling, that kind of thing, where they see the leprechaun as earwax or whatever. They're like, no, you can't have that. It's an obstruction. They got to clear it out or clip toenails and whatnot. Or is this just no holds barred in the arena, just whatever goes, no rules fight?
Let's say we have Big John McCarthy from formerly from the UFC judging this fight.
Sure. If we have an MMA referee.
Yeah.
So we would have so it is a regulated fight and we have a referee and everything. It's not just these two creatures meet up and they duke it out.
What's your opinion, Adam?
I think by context, since you are the moderator, you get to decide. So it can change each episode. So it's your call.
All right. Let's pick Big John for this one.
So regulated fight. So that means no earwax or whatever.
Are there weapons allowed?
Sound.
If I have, can I bring shoes or gold? Listen to our previous episode to find out why shoes and gold are important to leprechauns.
Wow. I think we gotta let the leprechaun have his tools, because the siren has natural talons and stuff. You can't really be all right, bro, don't use your feet. It's like having Conor McGregor fight Mayweather. You can't let him not
Listen
kick.
to this guy referencing real fights. Conor McGregor's a
get out of here.
Mythical creature, right?
What was a mythical creature?
Yeah, basically it.
Is he a leprechaun? Conor McGregor is my leprechaun. Alright.
I think, though, if in this fight, I don't know. According to Napoleon Dynamite, talons do hurt. So, large talons could do some damage. So I'm with you there. But yeah, if it's a regulated fight, you can't have your wax and whatnot. Obviously, the siren doesn't have weapons. I think the siren takes the leprechaun even with weapons because it can fly, right?
Yeah, the siren can fly still.
Yeah. But also, leprechauns are male. They're gonna be like, look at that. That's a lady. They want it.
What siren do you have? Do you have the one that puts people to sleep, or the one that kills itself if it's ignored? Or both?
Isn't that's all of them? I thought.
That's a good question.
Okay.
I think you got to pick one or the other.
But I thought that was one creature though. They have both of those traits.
Well, let's say you're picking the
I
Homer
feel like you
Sirens.
lose then if you have both those traits.
Yeah, you got some big disadvantages there.
Fine, if the one about it being ignored, I'll take that.
That she kills herself?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I think the leprechauns got this in the bag. See, there's no female leprechauns, so it does not find this thing attractive or understand why it's trying to seduce him. He just likes his little green men. Little green, red-clothed men, sorry.
That's what the rainbows are for?
What?
That's what the rainbows are for? The gay pride stuff?
Yeah. They were the first.
Respect.
And then it could just take little chunks of gold and stick it in its ears. So Conor McGregor puts gold in his ears. And he's got this fight. I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything.
Those talons are pretty powerful, though.
What's the time frame for the ignored portion? So how long do you have to ignore the thing for it to kill itself?
I'm going to say 15 minutes.
15? That's more than enough time for it to fly up to a tiny little ass Conor McGregor and just talons all up in there, toss him into the sea. Dead. They can't swim.
Leprechauns can't swim? They got too much gold. That's a good point.
It weighs them down.
So I think that as the talons are coming at Conor McGregor Leprechaun, he'll use his doesn't he have really, really bad teeth? And they're
Conor
gold?
McGregor?
No, leprechauns. We talked about this last episode.
Yeah.
Listen to the last episode to find out why leprechauns have bad teeth.
Jeez. Salesman.
So I feel like just one bite, like he's trying to grab me, I can just bite her, and
that's fair.
Just gnaw the leg off, and now they're diseased.
And they're pretty quick too.
Leprechauns?
Yeah, are they faster than the siren?
But I mean, if you're gnawing a leg off, there's plenty of time for that siren to attack back. Like, that thing's not just going to be like, all right, bro, get rid of this leg.
You didn't answer, Valia. If a siren and a leprechaun were racing from point A to point B, who would win?
Let me Google the wingspan of a siren real quick.
You should know this information. You
I
went
should.
to Harvard, I think? Harvard, I think, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Hard
Greek mythology. Well, there's a plane called the Siren. It's an Edelweiss. It's 15 meters. Let's go with 7.5. What is that? 21 feet? That's a big ass siren. 21-foot wingspan.
Is this a plane?
Dude. Sirens are big.
Acceleration to top speed is very different here, because in a fight you want acceleration, not just really fast over a long ass distance.
Well, actually, let me change that. A lot of people said that sirens looked a lot like sparrows. Sparrows are pretty fast, dude. Sparrow can fly like 20 miles an hour. How fast does a siren or a leprechaun go?
What speed did you say? 20 miles an hour?
Yeah, about.
Oh, then a leprechaun goes 25 miles per hour.
Cheating. Kibitzing.
Okay, how fast is Conor McGregor? I mean,
That guy,
he must top speed of Conor McGregor cannot be more than like 12 miles per hour, 13 miles per hour, right? He's not an Olympic runner. So I feel like we cannot go much higher than that.
He's got that stamina, though. Just like wolves. Wolves can beat a cheetah in a long-distance race.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but the cheetah accelerates quicker. That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you put him in a fight, that quick burst that it can have in like a 10-foot span, that's huge. Whereas if you set the field to be like 1 mile, it's a different story.
What was the point of this race again?
We were trying to figure out who's faster.
Why? What does this have to do with a fight?
Speed matters in a fight.
I mean, kind of.
A lot.
You got two fast things here. You got birds and Conor McGregor.
I think. All right. Well, I'm swayed by the size aspect as well as the strength and talents of the siren. That's my take. I think the siren wins.
I think
Closing argument.
I think a leprechaun can totally just like take it, bite off a leg before it gets dropped into the water and dies from
I
its
think we should
heavy
fight.
gold.
Just
Because
figure
you
this
have
out.
to behind the bike racks after school.
Yeah.
I think I have to make a decision. Do you
I'm
have
not
one
done
more
yet.
point? All right, continue.
So we said that leprechauns can't swim because they
Let
have
him
too
talk.
much gold on them, right? That was the issue for swimming.
Yeah.
Correct.
Then why can the siren pick it up?
What?
It's
Oh,
too
that's a good
heavy,
point.
too much gold. The
That's a
siren
good
can't
point.
pick me up or pick Conor McGregor up to throw him in the water.
I think gold ratio when you put it in the water is different from picking it up. Because it's tiny, the leprechaun. Like you need like 10 pounds of gold, and that thing is gonna sink.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, try
I
swimming
feel-
with shoes on. You're kind of fucked right there.
I do have shoes on. I am.
Dude,
a
try
leprechaun.
swimming right now.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Conor McGregor has shoes on because he's a leprechaun.
Dude, he's
I
got
feel
those
like-
old heavy ones
Okay,
too. He doesn't have like.
secret weapon. I put shoes on the siren.
Jeez.
That is good.
Birds' bones are hollow. Any extra weight, it's totally gonna mess with them.
Yeah.
That's what I was arguing with gold. Why did gold not work?
I don't know, man. Is it an
All right.
African siren?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I think decision's down to you, Dylan.
I think I gotta give it to the siren. It's kind of a biased fight, but it's just got those talons, man. That could tear shit up.
It's true.
And
I
it would
think-
that leprechaun wouldn't have that much to defend it against.
I think I really wanted siren to start with.
You what?
I wanted to defend the siren,
Fair enough.
so I
It
can't
shows.
complain.
Were you in debate club in high school?
No,
That's what I thought.
I just yelled at people a lot.
It shows. All
It's
right,
hurtful.
we gotta give it to the siren.
All right, siren wins against the leprechaun.
All right, let's ask a clarifying question though, William. How would you finish this leprechaun? How would you take this thing out?
As a human,
No, as a fucking siren.
easy. You fly down. I'm imagining a mountaintop. Siren sitting on the mountaintop. Little leprechauns coming into the arena.
Where's Big John McCain?
Swoops down.
McCain?
Big John McCarthy's sitting.
McCarthy.
He's the referee. He's looking over the situation. Siren swoops down, not flies. Swoops down. Talon grab on the leprechaun. Tosses into the sea. Leprechaun drowns. Doesn't even have to do any damage. Just drowns the bad boy.
I was
I
looking
feel
for a
like-
little bit of like facial destruction.
That
But
fight
alright.
went way too quick for. I think Conor
7 out
McGregor
of
could have
10.
held out a little longer.
Yeah.
Shit. All you have to do is like
Fast.
make him tumble down this mountain. Game
That's
over.
true. That's true. It's an unfair fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially if
is.
we're on a mountain.
Yeah.
Leprechauns are inside of mountains, not on top of them.
What if we're in Northern Ireland? Who has the advantage?
They do have a lot of alcohol there. They could probably hold their own.
Yeah.
All right. Is that everything we've got?
I think so.
Any final words on Sirens, Valia?
I started playing The Witcher a long time ago, The Witcher 3, and I didn't like the gameplay, so I couldn't get into it.
Try it
That's-
again.
That's my final words on Siren.
I swear I started that game like 4 times and played the first hour of it and didn't get into it until I was like, all right, the beginning of this game kind of sucks, but it's like 11 out of 10 good. Like best RPG ever made. Easy.
I think quick thing is we forgot to mention Kyle in this episode.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Maybe
All right.
don't overdo the Kyle stuff this early
Yeah.
on.
So, all right.
Every 3.
All right, so we learned a lot about sirens today. We learned that there's a lot of different things about them, and they kind of counteract each other, so we think they just kill themselves all the time. But there's only 2 to 5 of them. They may seduce or put someone to sleep. I guess it depends on your sexual preference. And they have really sharp claws. Many people think they're part watery creature, but they're actually part bird creature, with just a female head and a bird body. we talked about how sexy that is. We told a couple of tales about the Siren, the Odyssey people dealing with them, the Samurai Jack dealing with them, and whatever Valia was talking about. They fly in S's. Or they don't fly together at all. It was one of those two or both of those two. Sirens are all over the place. We also found out that a siren would kick a leprechaun's ass even if that leprechaun was Conor McGregor.
So easy.
And if
Nate
you've
Diaz
enjoyed...
can do it.
What?
Nate Diaz can do it.
If you've enjoyed what you heard, please swing by iTunes to leave a rating and review. You can also send us positive vibes on Twitter at Myths and Men. And we hope to see you next week when we talk about something else.
See ya.
Bye. The music you heard on this podcast is called Call to Adventure by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license.
Leprechauns suck.
Fuck you.